I'm about that. Cause I'm about that. I'm about that come up, running up on them fools that are talking foolish. Try to get them funds up, killing the mic just like I ran and Jules in. Y'all gonna get done up front, knowing that kid with an attitude, but you can't really blame this motherfucker. It's what he had to do. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm getting it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of carpets. All about that RIP, but all of my Jesus gone departed. All about that finish, what I started, I'm about that.
Top down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Top down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it. Want a man I can bring the drama, but it ain't by chance I'm fucking rapping. You don't really want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but still rapping like homie starving. Yeah, y'all gotta ask who the man is. Hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Top down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Top down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Welcome in, everybody, to a Monday edition of Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you, along with, well, it was 6 of my friends. Apparently, just 5 now, as Munson takes off before the flight. New kind of layout for us. How you guys liking this? Little bright lights above us and basketball court below. What are you thinking?
I dig it.
I dig it too.
Yeah, I like the arena feel.
I like it.
Feels like we're actual like big time, right? Little bit. Oh, here's Munson.
We are actually big time. I don't know if you knew this.
Let's get Munson back. Hey, we gotta have to change him out. Quinn back to the bottom. All right, lot to unpack.
His head's bigger than mine. He should be below. He should be down here.
Fix your microphone and we'll talk about it.
It's Poe.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna keep using this excuse over and over again?
It is.
Okay, you're no better than he is. I'm just telling you right now. If you're pointing fingers.
Fingers?
Fingers. Welcome into YSN Live. It was a fumble. We're going to talk about that, Trent. Just hang on. All right, we got to get to some stuff first. And, of course, being that it is, it's Thanksgiving week. It's National Eat a Cranberry Day. We're not going to go over this part. What we're going to say is, what's the favorite dish at the table on Thanksgiving? I guess you can say turkey, but that's kind of a disqualifier. So, Billy, let's start with you. What's your favorite dish on the Thanksgiving table?
Probably the potato part, man. I'm a fat kid, so gotta go with the carbs.
Potatoes?
Mashed.
Okay.
And smother it with gravy, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
All right, so you got mashed potatoes. Are you into the chunky mashed potatoes, or are you like the smooth, silky smooth mashed potatoes?
I mean, I think there's a good balance to it. There's no chunks in it, but it's not like it's runny. So you get too much butter and too much whatever liquid in there, that thing just becomes a runny mess, and that's never good either.
Oh, Quinn, you're gonna get DQ'd here real quick.
I changed my thing.
Gonna get suspended. All right, Muntz, since you're on the top row now, talk to me about your favorite.
Corn casserole.
Corn casserole?
Corn casserole, yeah.
That's good too, yeah.
Yeah, Carrie makes a good corn casserole that it's really good. Yeah, but they hate the way I eat food because my wife is a separator, so the food can't touch.
Oh, put it all on.
Yeah, that's it.
It's all going to the same place.
Yeah, mashed potatoes with gravy gets mixed in with the corn casserole with a little bit of green beans, and you just scoop it all up and back. Yeah. Oh, she freaks out. It makes her she's disgusted most of the time by me anyway. So, that just tops it off when I do that, and I do it on purpose because I'll sit there and I'll scoop it up. And I'm like, ooh, looky here, oh, and she's just like, there's something wrong with you. I agree. It all goes to the same place. I get the taste. It's all fine. Whatever.
I've seen you eat. I'm not sure you taste anything.
Yeah.
Romo, how about you?
I tasted those wings last night.
Since Max said mashed potatoes, I'm gonna have to go with the stuffing. Big stuffing guy with
Wet
the mashed
stuffing
potatoes.
or
I feel like
dry
I eat
stuffing?
more mashed potatoes and stuffing than turkey on Thanksgiving,
Are you a
honestly.
wet stuffing guy or dry stuffing guy?
Dry.
Dry stuffing. All right. Heartbreak Central.
I mean, I'm kind of with Billy. I'm a huge mashed potato guy, but I guess I'll just kind of key in on the gravy, man. Gravy all over the place. I am a sucker for some gravy.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite, man. I just had gravy earlier. I had chicken tenders from DQ, had their gravy. Oh, so good.
EB, your turn.
I'm a green bean casserole dude. We don't do just green beans. We do the green bean casserole. So that's probably I think it's a staple in our family. Everyone goes after the green bean casserole. No one really cares or gives a shit about the turkey. I mean, it's just there more so for show than anything. And it's always about the sides. So we're green bean casserole, and I'm a fan of what everyone else said, obviously. So
All right. I'm almost terrified to go down here. It's going to be Mountain Dew. Quinn, on to your favorite part of a Thanksgiving dinner.
All of it? I mean, come on, look at me. All of it. It's all great. If I had to pick one, cheesy potatoes. I'm a big cheesy potato guy. Pretty much I let them take their servings or whatever, and then I take the whole pan. So that's about where I'm at.
It's a good plan. See, I know I'm going to take heat for this. Cranberry sauce. I'm a huge cranberry sauce guy. I love it. My wife makes
Is it the Jello,
best.
or is it like homemade?
I'll go either direction. But my wife, she makes like the old school cranberry sauce, like the actual cranberries and
Yeah.
all that stuff. That's my favorite. But listen, I'm not against just opening up a can of that cranberry Jello and just digging in.
That's always funny at my house for years. 'Cause my mother always held it. She always made it, and she would make cranberry sauce, like homemade, style. And my uncle and my grandparents would be like, no, that's not cranberry sauce. You need the Jello from the can. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? That's Jello in a can,
Dumping out, and it's like a big
right?
cylinder.
And it just kind of bounces back and forth.
Hey, Kate, The Bachelor is trash.
Wow, look at
That is true.
Kate throwing green bean casserole. That's not right. You don't do that. Not on our show. Q, have you heard about the new Mountain Dew flavored wings?
No, I
That
have not.
sounds terrible.
I don't know if Paige, where is that at?
I don't know. I had Mountain Dew ice cream once, and that was horrible. So I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. Not to keep steering this, but we had handles the other night. The girls wanted handles, and guess what I got? For the first time ever, I got grape. I've
Was it
been
good?
hearing about it for years. I was told this is the best flavor, the most underrated flavor. Legit. It is so good. Sarah almost vomited after she had one bite, but I thought it was delicious. The girls thought it was great. If you go to Handles, make sure you try the grape. My favorite will always be the black cherry, but the grape is something to write home about. I'll tell you.
I'm gonna go get it tomorrow.
It's unbelievable. Get a pint, because otherwise I'm gonna eat it all. Mom says I love cranberry sauce too. Must be a genetic thing. So, all right, guys. Like we said, got a lot to unpack. It was a championship weekend. I look at Romo. I look at Jamie. It was a rough weekend. It was a heartbreaking weekend. YSN, I thought, represented pretty well. Youngstown represented pretty well. Friday, man, JFK just couldn't get in sync. I mean, started off with two procedure penalties to start the game. It was 1st and 20 before you knew it. It was just tough. They ended up losing 31-0. Nothing Cam Hollabaugh did would or could get past New Bremen. New Bremen didn't have a penalty. And listen, you're gonna hear me criticize the refs a little bit during this show. We don't like to do it, but when JFK, which is one of the most disciplined teams I've covered in the entirety of YSN, this team was disciplined. Uncharacteristic penalties on Friday. I'll give it to him. But there were some questionable, Like, they called a face mask on Hollabaugh, which it should have been the other way around. We have picture evidence. Like, it's legit. It was tough. That face mask penalty doesn't change the game necessarily. If you were listening to Running Point earlier, you hear Ron Potesta talk and Dana talk about there's 4 or 5 plays that usually change the face of a game. And the face mask wasn't it. But I will say, as we fast forward to Springfield last night, there was a questionable call at the end of the game that I gave you guys the insight to. We're not going to put it publicly, but there was a fumble after the big play by I'm drawing a blank. Help me out here. By Coldwater. After the punt return, they tried to run an extra play and fumbled it, and nobody in the stadium hit the replay button. The beanbag was thrown. There was a lot of speculation around that. I mean, hearing from Sean Guerrero, from Steve, he said that, great called game the entire time, and that's what they're going to be remembered for, is that one call. I mean, the ball is on the ground. It's on the ground. I sent you guys all the picture. It's on the ground. Let's turn it over to the guys who called the game, Romo, and of course Jamie. You guys over this yet? I mean, you still got that brick in your stomach?
I couldn't sleep last night, man. That was a tough loss. But you gotta look at the bright side of everything. It was a great season for Springfield. It was an amazing season. Making it to state championship 2nd year in a row. Bo Brungard put on another one of those performances that will be remembered around the valley for years to come. It seems like every week he puts out one of those performances. I just think that, I mean, yeah, that was a questionable call at the end, but there were some plays that both teams could have made that would not have put themselves in that scenario. There were a couple costly turnovers here and there, and yeah, like sometimes we want to bash the rest, but I mean, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. That's just tough that in that scenario they messed up. But overall, it was a great season, and can't hang our heads too low because this Springfield basketball team this year, I heard they have a little bit of potential. They should have a pretty good run this year if we can get this season going.
You guys get in the catbird seat with Springfield. Jamie, I mean, you guys had all the emotions last night, up and down and up and down and up and down. Talk to me about, where your head was at, where your mind was at, and where did things go wrong for the Tigers last night?
I mean, on the drive, back home, I was telling Romo, momentum was just going boom, 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 up and down all game long. That's the best game we've ever called, and I'm willing to say that's one of the best games that I've ever watched in my entire life. Both teams left it out on the field. I talked about it multiple times on the call, man. Those two teams, it was like looking in a mirror. It really was. You get the colors, the small town vibe. Both crowds were going crazy. It just seemed like they were so evenly matched. It was a really great called game, and to go back to the fumble, I mean, I feel like that's one of those situations where if there's no review, you're going to roll them down, because it always seems like in high school when you don't have that advantage of review, you're going to roll them down. But it's the state championship. We have that capability, so why don't you at least take an official timeout to take a look at it? I don't know. I really don't know, but like Romo said, there are a lot of key plays there. Just some things that Springfield could have done better, some things that Coldwater could have done better. But I mean, what it really comes down to, it seemed like I don't even know if I want to say it, man. It was tough. It was definitely tough. I don't want to put it on anybody because you really can't. It was such a team effort. Everybody stepped up and made these key plays. But I kind of said it to Romo after the call. I think Zach McKibben won that state championship for Coldwater, man. He did a great job of taking over for them. Bo played his literal heart out. I mean, Bo Brungard had such an amazing game. That dude is such a talent, and he was only a junior. Like, next season, can you imagine the numbers he's going to put up? It's going to be Lamar-esque mixed with, I don't know, Peyton Manning.
Let me ask you a question, because I have the honor to sit behind you guys in the press box and kind of take it in. That first, the third play of the game when Coldwater scored almost immediately, you guys kind of looked at each other. Jamie, you turned around and said, "Here we go." So, I mean, from your standpoint, from the announcer standpoint, did you feel like we could be in trouble, or did you feel like we were in for a heavyweight boxing title match?
I mean, there's two ways that game could have gone. The way that it did with Springfield responding, or they could kind of shut down and just say, Remo said it like, oh man, here it comes. Like this is last year all over again. It's easy to give up. It really is. The tough thing is to be able to just come together as a unit, just regroup and go back out there and hit them right on the nose. And that's exactly what Springfield did. So yeah, we were up there and we were just kind of like, oh my goodness, man, like this is not the way that we want it to end. So Springfield, once again, they did a great job of regrouping and coming back and punching Coldwater in the mouth. Coldwater hadn't been punched like that all season long.
Munts, you had a chance to take it in at the Tigers table as part of the YSN Primetime Live crew. What was it like? What was the atmosphere like in New Middletown for the people that weren't able to travel down to Massillon for the game?
I mean, the same thing. I mean, that roller coaster. I mean, when Coldwater would score, you hear, oh, and then, the Tigers score, it was elation. I mean, people were going nuts and going crazy. And then, back and forth. And, there was a table with some ladies to our right who, I mean, this lady, she really thought that they could hear her down there up in Massillon. Like, she was yelling. I mean, Quinn and I are sitting there and she's yelling at them. And we both kind of look at each other like, she really knows that they can't hear her, right? But it was just, that's the way it was going. And it was just going nuts. And then, Coldwater would come back. And then when Springfield jumped ahead and took the lead, like everybody's like, okay, hey, 2.5 minutes. Let's go defense. Let's get it going. And then they score. And then everybody's like, okay, hey, let's go down and see if we can hey, we got the leg. We can get this. We can go. And then when they have to punt, there were some grumbles here and there. But, I mean, to anybody with some great football knowledge knows the team had less than 30 seconds to go. If you turn the ball over right there, that's tough. That's tough with the other team having 2 timeouts and the way they could take the top off your defense. Do you do that? No, you punt it away. Would you like to have maybe punted it out of bounds? I don't know. But, I mean, I would never second guess a head coach who is making his second appearance in the state title. He knows his team. He knows what he's doing. It's just little things just didn't go their way. I mean, do you contain? Did guys stay in their lanes? You don't know. It's just that kid makes a great play. That kid was over 350 some yards total offense. So like, how do you say that kid's not a superstar too? So he made a great play, great on the 2 guys that were able to push him out of bounds. I mean, and put a lot of pressure on that kid to kick the ball. I mean, like Coach Seidel said, those last 3 games, 7 state championships, the first 4, all blowouts. The last 3 all come down to kicks. That's just insane. I mean, and I was talking with Coach Foster today, and he goes, the only game he felt bad about was the DeSales game. He goes, because all the games were won on a kick. That game was lost on a kick. Like that kid missed the kick and the other team wins. And he goes, that's what he feels bad for. Is like a kid missing his opportunity to tie a game, to maybe go to another overtime. That stinks. Like that pressure's on that poor kid that you lost the game. But I mean,
job, right?
Yeah, but then you come back to, like everybody said, there's 4 or 5 plays. Like you don't get there unless something else happens. So, I mean, it was crazy. But I mean, it was a great time for our Valley this past weekend with, 2 teams. The one thing I was taken out of it, I went back and was thinking about, there's 5 teams made it to the regional championships around in our area. All the teams that won that regional championship all played for the state title. 2 of them happened to be our schools, and the other 3 were teams that beat our schools. So that just says something for our region around this area, that we produce a lot of good football.
Yeah, I got to be honest. By the end of the weekend, I was tired of hearing that chant MAC, MAC. We know they're a good football conference. Naturally, they win, or they're in a state championship each and every year. But listen, our Tigers held strong. And, if you could have been up there when we were scoring almost at will with Bo, the announcers kind of looked around at each other. And we had, I don't know if it was a video crew from Coldwater or who they were, but they kind of looked around and they're like, well, nobody's ever played us like this before. And the crowd was silent. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what. I mean, it was like Ricky Bobby. They didn't know what to do with their hands because they're used to doing this the entire time. And Bo Brungard and the Springfield Tigers had them silenced. And after the game, the first thing, Steve, I mean, everybody knows Steve. Steve's talking to the Coldwater crew, just kind of yucking it up, and the one kid turned around and goes, "That was definitely a fumble." I saw it on my on my thing. He's like, "I don't know why they didn't go to review." Mac, from your perspective, you were dialed in on YSN and of course on Facebook last night with 1,000 other people, 2,500 other people to be exact. What was it like for you as a fan to be able to have these two guys below us kind of paint the picture for you, and to be quite honest, which is something I'm really proud of, you guys, you played the part. You know, you were invested in the team, and you know everybody that was listening loved that you were heartbroken. You know, it's really it feels really bad, or it sounds really bad to say, but you guys were invested in the Springfield Tigers, and so was YSN. Mac, what was it like for you to listen to that call?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because you guys were there and you guys were talking about the visual, moments of the game, and I can feel the emotions of the game through Romo and JB here. It was quite amazing that we have some pretty awesome people who do such an awesome job for us, and these guys, they really did a great job last night of kind of not only just painting the picture, but taking me on this emotional roller coaster of scoring and giving up points and what's going on with these refs, or it was just amazing, and it really had my heart racing. And again, I'm not, I haven't listened to a game probably outside of maybe the Indians on the way home from a baseball game. So, listening to these guys kind of had that same type of feeling of they did such a great job of painting the picture, kind of giving me the details of in and out what's going on. I mean, it just felt like it was a state championship game brought by a huge corporation that pays their guys millions of dollars. So it was.
Look at him.
He's
jockeying for a raise already. Jeez, oh man. Let's get to this comment. Quinn, it's going to cover you up, so I apologize. Oh, no, it pushed you up. All right. Colin Chupa says, these kids played lights out with composure and perseverance. What an incredible game. It sounded like an NFL game at our house. Always proud to be a Tiger, and hope these Tigers are proud to be of how they smashed an unconventional season and gave our community something to cheer for in 2020. Perfect synopsis of essentially what the Tigers did and what JFK did. And you know what? I know we posted a couple pictures out there on social media this past weekend, but can we just formally say thank you to not only the Springfield Tigers and the Warren JFK Eagles, but also the communities and the fans and the schools themselves, the districts themselves, because they took us along for this ride, and without them saying yes and allow us to be part of it, guys, it sounds stupid to say, but we're not there. We're not able to provide this service. You good, Paul? We're not able to provide this service to our fans. So YS Nation was well represented here this weekend, and we thank both the Eagles, the Tigers, and everybody that went to the playoffs, everybody that played football, volleyball, or what else did we have this fall? Whatever the sport may be, we appreciate you allowing us to take part in it and to be part of your memories. So we greatly appreciate it. EB and Quinn, we're gonna get to basketball with you guys here as we kind of turn the page, because guess what, guys? Tonight, basketball on YSN. Friday night there was basketball on YSN. This is insanity to me. This is absolute insanity, and I mean it for a couple of different reasons, and we'll get into it. We spent basically the entire last week talking about, will we play? Will we not play? Will it be canceled? Will it be postponed? And then we kind of got a mixed bag. Like poor Paul in the middle trying to put these schedules together and get these schedules and get answers for us, so that way we have games or don't have games, and we can communicate that to the rest of the world. Tonight we got 5 games. We've got Brookfield versus United. Anthony is going to take that. Anthony Hartwig, that is. Crestview and Springfield is going to be Poe and Larry. I'll have the East Liverpool Southern game. I believe I'll have a special guest with me. We're still making sure that is locked in. We'll also have LeBray and Garrettsville and McDonald and Columbiana. So with that, I turn it over to EB and ask you, you're the inside information guy for basketball. What's going on, and what's it like to be on a coaching staff right now with so many question marks?
What's going on? I wish I could tell you because it's just going to be one of those things. Like, Paul, I'm sorry, bud, but it's going to be a hectic couple weeks. Like, there's just no answers. Like, we've had our first 3 games pushed back, so our first game's not until Saturday now. Outside of that, man, this is just going to be the norm, especially for the next month or so. You know, you guys are seeing schools and athletic departments shutting down for weeks, for months. You know, you just got to put your head down and keep grinding through it. You know, fortunately, we have some teams that can play tonight, which I'm excited to see. I got to watch the West Ranch Garrettsville game Friday, which that was awesome to see. In between, you know, got to listen to JFK, watch a little bit of that. Got to watch and listen both Springfield last night. Well, yeah, last night. So it's been a busy couple of days. So I don't know what it's going to be like on the boys' side. I think with the girls getting underway, you know, that should give the boys a little bit more hope. Or at least more of a direction. That would probably be a better word. But it's just going to be a crapshoot week in, week out. You know, we're here, we're in it. It's just going to come down to the school districts now.
Quinn, EB alluded to boys. Talk about where the boys stand. I mean, it sounds like tip-off is still set for this Friday. You guys have a tip-off tournament, correct?
Yeah, we'll start up this Friday, and like Eric said, I mean the girls being able to start a week before us has kind of paved the way for the boys' side to kind of figure out which direction to take it as well. I mean, from what we're doing in Lisbon, we're preparing as if we're playing this Friday and Saturday in our tip-off classic with 3 other good teams coming in, and I mean we're excited to get going. We really are.
Do you feel like you're kind of unbalanced at this point? Do you feel like you're just kind of waiting on the other shoe to drop, so to speak?
Yeah. Sorry, I just read that comment. That was kind of funny. Yeah, it's we're in limbo, if that makes sense. We're kind of just playing it by ear, and we're preparing as if we're playing, and if we do, we do. We're ready to go, and if not, then we'll figure out what we have to do and take the necessary steps to make sure we have a season.
From a YSN standpoint, we released today officially that it's going to be $9.99 a week. So let me explain how that kind of breaks down. Sunday night, you'll have the games for the week as they are deemed by YSN. We do not guarantee games, obviously. We are not in a position to guarantee games, as they could be canceled as at the drop of a hat. So we will put basically, here's the listing of games that we will have hopefully for the week. As of right now, it is, I think, for the day. We're going to make that change. The refund policy is going to be limited. Basically, if it's shut down for the week, you'll get a refund if it's just the one night, right? So if you're looking to get a refund on Sunday for last week's game, there better be no games that happen that week, because you're paying $9.99 for an entire slot of basketball games, boys, girls, as well as swimming, as well as wrestling, as well as anything we do at YSN. You're paying that $9.99 for, which I know I'm the owner. I know I'm probably a little bit biased, but if I was buying it, I think that's a fair price, given that the Mike Tyson exhibition fight this Saturday is going to be $50, and there's no guarantee to how long it goes. It could go around. It could go. What's the exhibition? Is it 12 or 10? What is it? I don't know. I don't know boxing that well.
I thought it was 8.
Is it 8? So you look at that. I mean, that's a lot of sports for $10. You know, and we did it based off of the football price, the $9.99 per week for football. You'll still be able to go back if you just want to watch the one game. You'll still be able to, you know, let it happen and then go back and buy it through the archives for $2.99. So just wanted to set that straight so that way people understood how it happens, how it works, and how we'll be utilizing it moving forward. I still think it's a great deal. I think it's a
less
bargain.
than $2 a day.
You're getting 5 games tonight, so that's less than $2 a game, and you've got
it costs you 6 or 7 to get in.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I think that's the way.
If you can get in.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Generally, you can't get, especially especially these smaller places. Like Liverpool will be fine, but you go to McDonald's,
It's gonna be tough.
it's what their capacities. Do you know what it is, Quinn? Maybe 800, 900, 1,200 at max.
If that, I doubt that.
Yeah, so
I even saw for that tip-off classic. I mean, there's very limited tickets going to be sold for that. I mean, like 75, I think, a team for them to come in, and it was small. So I mean, if you can't get to that, why wouldn't you tune into us to watch it? And for you paid $9, that tip-off classic not till Friday and Saturday. You get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday games already.
Look, from a AAU standpoint, if you would have told me last year $10 a week so I can check in and watch multiple of my players or just local talent, I would have given you 20. But like just tonight alone, you'll get to see Molly Howard, you'll get to see Maddie Howard, Krista Perry. You had West Branch the other night. West Branch Canfield's tomorrow, and that's just on the girls' side. You know, we're definitely not slim on talent here in girls basketball by any means.
No, and boys basketball is not bad.
It's not even, yeah. And you're getting value. That's the thing here is with the price here. So, you know, enjoy your value. If a game gets canceled, you know what? Watch another game. I mean, like you don't have to, but go ahead. Why not? I mean, you basically slaughter off that time to watch something. So you might as well watch somebody else play, and maybe one of the girls' high school, maybe they're playing instead of the boys that week. So, you know, for value purposes, I mean, you can't beat it. It's a great deal.
And we will be keeping an eye on the Fridays and maybe Thursdays that are coming up, because we'll have what we did in football. We'll have the audible call. We're calling it the open look for basketball with Mike Ackelson, Nick Zeronis, and a few other people that have yet to be stamped yet, but we're finalizing the contracts with them. It's going to be awesome. Like, I'm really excited for this. We're going to do a couple things in basketball that we are kind of experimenting for in football for next year. So Mike Ackelson always does a phenomenal job, you know, bringing in some of what I think is some top tier coaching people that may or may not already work for YSN. It is going to be fun, and maybe some coaches that maybe are sitting a year or taking a knee on 2020 in early 2021. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really exciting. You're going to get some insight into basketball as opposed to what football is, and it is obviously not taking anything away from what we're doing, because when you have 100 and some touchdowns in a weekend, that's pretty exciting stuff. But basketball is a little bit different, right? You're not going to hit all these scores all of a sudden, and they're not as exciting as touchdowns. So we're going to do open look where we're going to be scheduled on this is the hit for this game, this is the hit for this game, go down the line, and then the second half, we're just going to go where the good games are and where somebody's lighting it up. We might catch, 1,000-point score. We might catch, a lot of things. So excited for that. So those will be on Thursdays and Fridays, mostly Fridays, but we're going to get some girls in as well in the open look. So exciting times here at YSN. Guys, when you think about it, I fully anticipated to walk out of that media room last night and have them tell me, it's done. We're canceling basketball till January 1st. Am I tired? Absolutely. Are these two guys tired? Is this guy tired? Absolutely. Are we all tired? Yes. But you know what? We owe it to the student athletes that busted their ass all summer, all fall to get to this point to play basketball, because they get scholarships too. And guess what? They have records to break. They have games to win. They have moments to seize as well. And as long as that's going on, YSN is going to be right there with them, baby. So I am excited to get things officially kicked off, I guess tipped off tonight. It's 7 o'clock. It looks like a lot of games, 7 o'clock. There's a 6 o'clock game. I think Crestview is going to be a 6 o'clock game. So
yeah, I think the varsity only ones are going to be 6 o'clock. So it's probably going to be more common than not this year, honestly. But I'm pretty sure Crestview's 6 o'clock. And Paul, God bless you, man. You're gonna be something. You get a wig so you have something to pull out of your head.
Yeah. And a lot of times I'm seeing some of them they're just doing 2 quarters of JV too. So
yeah,
you're not seeing a full thing there. So
Well, I guess I'll just leave right after the show then and go down to East Liverpool, since I have no idea if it's actually going to happen at 7 or they could be on right now. Who knows? Let's Chris Cadvan chiming in. Winter Sports is here. Let's go. Quinn, shave your head and maybe you'll make the top row on the screen. I think there's some value to that. As long as we can stream it, I think that we can work something out, Quincy. So we got to take a break. Before we do that, guys, of course, we're going to talk more about basketball. We're going to, again, recap the emotions of the weekend as we go 0 for 2, but it was a heartbreaking 0 for 2 on both sides of the gamut with Warren JFK in Springfield. We will continue to talk to the voices of the Tigers, and we will get the updates for a few other things. NFL's popping in college football. Ohio State, who are they? We just don't know yet, so we're going to figure that out when we come back on the YSN Power Hour, powered by G. Burbick Farms.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Oakley, Paul Munson, and Billy McCartney on the top row. Quinn, Heartbreak Central, and EB on the bottom row. Romo's gone. Oh, wait. I found him.
My Wi-Fi went out for like a split second, just messed everything up.
Quinn back to the bottom of the tree. So, I know he's watching right now. Cadvan, stop texting me. I'm in the middle of doing my job. Things are good, buddy. I hope you're well, too. So with that being said, let's throw this out there. Support system / great crowds. Guys, last night I had to go down there to make sure we captured the final moments. What I predicted to be a Medvec 38-yard field goal, and there was a moment there that I thought it was going to happen. And I thought that, I told you guys I'd run out in the middle of the field and celebrate with them, because that doesn't happen every day. That's some rip the envelope, blow in it, and then go play the lottery kind of stuff. That being said, it was that much more heartbreaking.
Well, the game did end on a field goal, though. No time remaining.
I got that part. I'm not going to brag about that because that's shitty. but I will say this is the support system / great crowds that we have in this valley. That was an unbelievable crowd Springfield had last night. And it was an unbelievable crowd that JFK had. How much does that go into, let's just say it, a state championship caliber team like the two we saw this weekend? Start with the two that announced it. You were there. You saw it. Romo, what do you think?
I think that the great crowds really help the teams out because it gives them that extra energy. It just helps them out so much. And I think it works out more for basketball, honestly, when you're in that closed gym. When you're playing a home game, you have that true home court advantage when the crowd's rocking. That helps you out so much because that can cause easy turnovers and whatnot, and then you can go on runs. But for football, too, I may sound biased. I don't want to be biased, but I'll tell you what. We were on the opposite side of that Springfield crowd last night. I could hear them way louder than the Coldwater fans that were directly under us. Now, maybe as Jamie said, because their voices were going away from us, it may have been harder, but Springfield Faithful was loud and proud last night, and it was just a great atmosphere. And Jamie had touched on it too last night, how even if we could have as many fans as we wanted last night, there'd be fans from Pole and Hubbard all around the valley that would be there supporting those Tigers.
Jamie, you feel the same way?
I mean, there's no doubt about it. Romo kind of touched on it with the basketball too. I love the basketball environment, man. When you pack a gym, I mean, at Hubbard, we don't exactly have the most winning tradition, but I tell you, that first home game, we would always pack the student section. It seemed like we'd always start 1-0 at home, and then the attendance would just kind of drop, and then the performance would kind of drop as well. But hey, like we've talking about huge crowds, man, it really is impressive. And I did say, maybe cool water just yelling out that way. I was just trying to make any sense of it because it's their 13th state championship appearance in 20 years. You'd think you'd be able to gather up a little bit more support. I know they're all the way across the state. They had to come to Westland, but Springfield showed up, and they were definitely more louder and a lot more prouder than their program.
EB, has there ever been a moment where on the bench you kind of look around as a coach and you go, wow, this is a pretty cool atmosphere?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I've had it in football, I've had it in basketball, I've had it as a player, I've had it as a coach. Like, probably the coolest thing was last night watching Springfield. I'm at a basketball tournament, and like all the fathers were like, "Hey, screw watching my kid. I'm gonna go watch Springfield play right now." And just like getting on social media, not only was it just Springfield's team, but Youngstown loves Youngstown. And it became Youngstown's team, especially when the further you get, you kind of just consume and build up even more. Personal experience, it's pretty cool. On a girls' side, like a Salem West Branch girls game, but like West Branch is one of the best teams. A storied program. They just year in year out, they're top of their game, which Coach Shields does a phenomenal job, and that's a rival game right there. But like I tell the girls, when you get those moments, take a second, kind of look around, breathe it in, because you only get so many moments. I think probably one of the coolest things, as a spectator to see in basketball was last year going to watch McDonald in the regional and then also in the district. It looked probably a little more personal for Quinn and I since we're close with the Howards, but same thing I told Molly and Maddie, like, take in the moment for a second and then go handle your business, because you don't get many of them. So enjoy it.
I love it. You want to talk about crowds? There was no crowds in Columbus this weekend, guys. No parents, no anybody. And I think it affected Ohio State a little bit. They looked a little bit iffy. That game was a 19.5, 20.5 point spread, and Ohio State barely snuck it out there at the end. We go to our resident Ohio State expert and the guy that's going to spit it real, Billy Mack. How you feeling about the Buckeyes?
Yeah, that's so good. I mean, we were up 21 points there in the fourth quarter, and you just seen it. But watching on the field, you just see it just go right by. Justin Fields just making decisions I've never seen him make before, and he was Baker-esque out there, just trying to force the ball anywhere. I mean, he was trying to stiff arm a guy away from him instead of just throwing the ball away. He's trying to make something happen. You could just see it was like one of those decisions. It was like he's trying to. You could see the game going in a terrible direction, and then he's trying to sit here and make plays because the things just aren't going right. And that's kind of where football can't go. You can't just absorb all the punishment and try to make every play for your team. It's a team game. You gotta, we talked about like on Friday or Thursday on all of our stuff is do your role. And Justin Fields tried to do more than just his role, and it showed. I mean, he's a great athlete. He's going to be great. He's going to be a Heisman finalist. Chances are, I think he lost his Heisman winner this weekend when you throw 3 picks in a game. I mean, Indiana's a good football team, but the Big Ten's down. I'm not going to sit here and say Indiana wasn't a good team, but they're not a great team. I don't think their quarterback's is in any class of his own. I mean, he's basically a good quarterback by default because all the Big Ten teams stink like Michigan. Penn State can't even win a game, for crying out loud. I mean, Ohio State's defense needs to figure out what they want to be. That's kind of where we need to be. If they want to make a playoff run, they got to figure out how to stop people. And right now, they can't stop a soul.
Hang on tight, guys. We got some breaking news coming in. Chris Ziegler chiming in and saying that Southern has postponed extracurriculars until January. East Liverpool now playing Bel Air tonight. So not Southern, in East Liverpool, it is going to be East Liverpool and Bel Air. And Paul, you got some breaking news?
Yeah, Crestview Boys is done until December 2nd now.
Okay. So
Girls
we
is
will-
still good, so the girls' game tonight's fine. But Crestview Boys has a positive COVID case, and they are shutting it down until December 2nd.
Okay, so there you go. You again, just to recap.
Baseball season.
Yeah.
It's like this is what I kind of said a couple weeks ago. This is what's going to kind of be. You're going to catch these cases, and games are just going to be canceled day before, hours before.
Yeah, this is going to be nuts. Again, East Liverpool playing Bel Air tonight, and Crestview Boys is postponed until December 2nd. Does not affect the game tonight against Springfield for the girls, so that game's still moving on. And East Liverpool still has a game tonight just against a different opponent. So really, nothing changes per se except for tonight, I guess.
Future.
Except for a different team. So we're trying to keep you up to date, and we apologize with the breaking news to kind of take away from the Ohio State thing. So let's get back on track here. Aaron saying, DJ, do you think Indiana will be our best team till playoffs? Yeah, I do. No, Billy?
Nah, we're going to face Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game.
No, you're not. They just lost to Northwestern, bud.
Again, Northwestern.
In
yeah.
Northwestern. I mean, Wisconsin could still get there. I still think that they're going to get there. I think that would be the better team.
They need Northwestern to lose to someone, but yeah, I mean, they could. But I mean, in Indiana, like you could see Indiana over the past couple of years, they were building towards this. And are they a perennial power? No, not by any means. But they kind of remind me of Penn State a couple of years ago, like where they had that drop. You could see them building. They played great. I mean, Ohio State's secondary got shredded. But, defensive line were great. Indiana ended up with, negative 13 rushing yards? Didn't help that she gave up 491 passing yards. But, that's what you got to worry about, especially when you have people like Sean Wade coming back and you have a lot of hope on Hooker. And, Justin Fields, like you said, Mac, he was just doing stuff that I've never seen the dude do before. And I don't know if it's because Lawrence didn't play the past 2 weeks, and in his mind he thought, hey, I got to go out and get cute and kind of make this phenomenal throw or make more happen than what really could so I can really separate myself or what. But, I'm not going to discredit Indiana. They played a heck of a game, and they always play Ohio State tough. But, the silver bullets or I guess you could say the Buckeye secondaries, they got a lot of work to do in the film room.
And I'm not using that excuse for like a lot of people are using well, they didn't play last week. Listen, we're Ohio State. Get over it. This is what there's an expectation of you play at a certain level. All right. So this is where the standard is. Whether you played last week or not is irrelevant to anybody. I mean, if you're a true Buckeye fan, it doesn't matter who you play or what day you play. If you have a week off, so be it. Use it as a bye week. There's no excuse. I've been hearing on Facebook, well, they didn't play last week. They're a little rough. No, not having it. Not today.
I mean, I think no crowd has a lot to do with someone coming into the Horseshoe and delivering like Penix did. I mean, there's no intimidation factor, and the butterflies that you usually get when you walk into whatever the Horseshoe holds. Is it 100,000 or whatever?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because you get up 14, 21 points, the momentum that you get from the crowd, dude, it's comparable to just anywhere. You ride that wave a little bit because when you get the ball back, hell yeah, you want to hear the crowd go nuts.
It's like getting that one up in Mario, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, Romo and I, we've got our Snapchat memories a year ago today, man. It was Ohio State versus Penn State. We were there. College game day was there. We've got our videos of us jumping around, man. The crowd was going absolutely insane. So, yeah, it makes a huge difference that there are no fans there because the Horseshoe is one of the toughest places to play in college football. And then 2 other points, Indiana, they're the best team in the state of Indiana, in my opinion. And Sean Wade should not be playing corner. He should be playing safety.
Here's the question for you guys. Is Ohio State the best team in Ohio?
Yes.
Yes.
I think Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati, but Ohio State is better than Cincy.
I think we'd beat UCF by more than 3.
Yes, we would. Well, we beat YSU though.
Oh,
Hey man, Twins are still undefeated. Twins haven't lost. I don't know,
Ouch.
man.
Ouch kabibbles, as my girls say. So let's move on to a little bit of pro before we get to the G Burby Farms. What's your beef, Billy? I asked you this question before we hopped on. Are the Browns for real? I mean, they're starting to show flashes. Baker Mayfield only 12 completions yesterday, but the question is, are the Browns for real?
Until the answer to this question is a real question. All right. We've watched teams shut down the run, and we've lost both of those games. Okay, so ideally, when you play against the Browns, if you just put 11 guys in a box and leave the wide receivers wide open, Baker can't make those throws. You can't make guys wide open. You can't throw guys open. You can't even hit them in their hands at times. I mean, he stinks. So, if you want to beat the Browns, put all the guys in the box.
Respect.
Okay, you can't be a great football team until your quarterback can win you football games. Right now, it's almost like I've been saying it for weeks. You guys all think it's funny, but it's so true. Okay, you got to have a good quarterback. Quarterback's got to win you football games. Right now, they call plays designed so Baker doesn't screw it up.
Quinn, rebut.
Yeah.
Please.
They're not as bad as Billy is making them seem, but they're not for real yet. There's still a lot of games left on the schedule that need to be answered to first. It helps when you run for 200 plus yards every week. That's how you win games in Cleveland. But they're not good enough to win playoff games yet. They're just
And
not.
put the BS of like that Kareem Hunt is just as good as Nick Chubb. He's clearly not.
He's not. But nevertheless, they're in the wild card, so I'm happy. But
So,
we're
Billy,
gonna-
would it change your mind if they make the playoffs this year?
I don't know. I mean, people make the playoffs and they stink. Listen, the Eagles
gonna be
and
hard.
the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs.
Hey, we won last week, or I guess yesterday. That's all that matters.
Billy,
True.
here's what most people don't understand. This is what I get. When I'm out buying groceries and someone comes up to me and says, I love the Power Hour, but that is an angry elf that you've got up there usually in that side of the box. So
Yeah.
their biggest complaint is the Browns go 0-16, you bitch. The Browns make the playoffs, you bitch. What do you want?
A Super Bowl.
You're so big.
We play to win. Listen. We're fans. We want to watch our team win a Super Bowl. I can't just be okay. I don't live in that world. I don't live in a world where it's okay.
I want a Super Bowl just as much as you, but I want to win the record first.
Yeah.
No.
Baby
And
steps. Baby steps.
I want to win a Super Bowl. I'm tired. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of waiting. I don't want to
And
hear about you got to earn it. You got to wait till your team grows like a flop. No, I ain't got no time for that. I want to win a Super Bowl. I want it now.
We don't grow like flowers. We're like poison ivy.
One at a time, boys. Raise your hands.
Baker wins
I
the
was-
Super Bowl, Mac would still have a problem with it.
I can.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I swear I would not have. If Baker wins me a Super Bowl, he's good in my book. But he won't because he stinks.
How
You're
many
winning the Super
quarterbacks?
Bowl
Let
in
me
Madden.
ask
That's what
this:
you're
how
winning.
many quarterbacks have taken the Browns to the playoffs in the last 20 years?
Two,
Two.
three,
Yeah.
three technically.
Okay, so if Baker Mayfield takes you to playoffs this year, you're not going to cut him any slack.
No. So I don't think he can get us over the hump.
What's the hump?
He's the
You
best.
were
of
0-16
Super
2
Bowl.
years
Yeah.
ago.
The playoffs
Super
are a
Bowl.
hump.
That's a
Say
big
it.
hump.
Super Bowl or bust, baby. I want Super Bowl. That's it.
Well, he'll be waiting a long time for
This
that.
is why you change teams so often, because the
Sick of it.
expectations are unrealistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can win a Super
I've been
Bowl
trying to
now.
tell you this too, Steve. I've been trying to tell you he stinks.
I don't think he stinks.
Stinks.
I'm just going to put this out there. He's on the cover of Madden. So
And he stinks.
anybody putting their money on Lamar Jackson this year, that's on you. Everybody knows about the Madden curse. All right,
I mean,
Browns
Pete
fans.
Hillis was on the Madden cover too. So
Yeah, how good was he?
yeah, that
He was really good that year. That one year, he was really freaking good.
But yeah, the year before, He was
Yeah.
on the Madden cover.
Yeah,
And then after,
the Madden curse. Madden curse is real. There's no doubt about it.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's why when it came out, I was the happiest person in the world. When AB was on it a couple years ago, I was distraught. I didn't know what to do with myself.
We had Palomalu on it too.
They did. That was a long time ago.
2010.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald was on. There's a few guys. Gronk, wasn't it Gronk that got on and didn't get hurt that year?
I think Ray Lewis. Ray
That a boy
Lewis didn't get hurt.
Stevie. That a boy Stevie. Well, Ray Lewis killed a guy, so I mean he pretty much.
Allegedly.
He did eat some souls.
OJ allegedly did it too. Come on.
I know where this is gonna go.
Hey,
I know where this is gonna go. Here we go.
Well, I mean,
I mean, if
Steve-
Dennis Rodgers going to kill somebody, other
Steve
than
hopping on a bandwagon
fan.
over there. Look at him.
Yeah, I like it. Stevie, a Steelers fan. We had long trips to Maslin, baby. I talked him right into the Steelers. Let's go.
Steelers did. Would they play the Jets again this week for the 5th time?
They
in a
play the
row?
same damn schedule every week that the Browns do. You balded elf ginger.
There's a couple games that are different.
One game, right? One game. They got to play like the third place team or
I
whatever.
don't
it
know.
was.
I don't think
We played Seattle, the Rams,
No.
I think the schedule.
the Raiders. We've had all these teams that are like above 500. You guys played the Jets 12 times.
You're ridiculous.
Everyone's lucky they're not playing the Cowboys again. That's all I know, man. Andy Dalton is out there. He is leading game-winning drives. He's a damn legend.
All I'm
Yeah.
saying is you're
And they're
putting
3-7.
you're putting your entire franchise
half game
into
out.
the hands of a ginger, and we all know how that ends. I mean,
Half game out of first place.
Exactly.
duck
And if
ball.
Zeke didn't have a
Duck.
career day rushing, you wouldn't even been far.
They're gonna win 6 games and have host a playoff game.
Yeah,
That's
they're gonna
what's
be,
gonna be
whoever
crazy.
wins that division is going to have a losing record.
Yeah, it happened. It's happened before. Seattle did it when they were 7-9, like 10, 11
All
years
I'm
ago.
going to say is the Ravens
And they
shut
beat the
down.
Saints.
They shut down
Yeah.
their facilities because of positive COVID test. And if the Steelers don't play on Thanksgiving, I'm going to be pissed off. It doesn't matter what's on the table. I'm going to be pissed. So
Oh yeah, because I really do. I like that third game. All 3 games. Having those 3 games on Thanksgiving is a big deal. That
it
needs
is
to be
nice.
there.
It is nice. It's perfectly spread out, so you can
Yeah.
get your nap in for like an hour after the second game. I mean, you're good.
Yeah.
You're
And the
absolutely
third game is usually the best game of the 3 because it's usually two teams that are pretty competitive.
Part of my
Well, no,
tradition
watch
is
the-
watch the Lions get their ass kicked.
Well,
Yeah,
here
but you
comes
never bet
Bezos.
against them on
Where's Bezos
Thanksgiving.
getting
But
written
you never
up
bet
somewhere?
against them on Thanksgiving. They always cover.
Yep.
All right, here it goes. That wraps up our regular part of the show. It's now time for the G. Burbick Farms What's Your Beef? Each day we look into something we want to put down or something bad, a bad experience that we had, or we can prop somebody up or prop up something that happened to us. So with that said, wait a minute. What was I? I was going somewhere with that. If you're in the market for some fresh beef for this holiday, make sure you go over to G. Burbick Farms on New Buffalo Road in Columbiana, or go on the web to gburbickfarms.com. Their family's farm, your family's freezer. So, with that being said, Munson, you're up. I don't want to skip you this time. What is your beef?
My beef should be pretty easy. It's all this damn scheduling that's going on right now. I mean, it's day one, and there's been at least 20 different scenarios of what's going on. This team not playing until that day, that team not playing to this day. I mean, I know we have 2 basketball coaches on here right now, but I just really wish just across the board, they just try to get everybody on the same page, because I see what's going to happen. I'm foreshadowing it. You're going to have different teams dropping out, and then all of a sudden other teams are going to be scrambling to find somebody, just like tonight's game. I mean, my beef is, let's all get on the same page, and either everybody's playing or everybody's going to take a little break, because it's going to be a mess for everybody. ADs, coaches, players, officials. I mean, who knows? It's going to be a shit show all the way down the line. So, and I think it was pretty bad that the state and the governor, nobody's got they all had the balls when it was fun earlier to do it, and then they took heat for it. Now nobody wants to have it, and everybody just keeps pushing it around, going, it's on you, it's on you, it's on you. It's
That's
like
what they did the first time, though. Remember,
Yeah.
until they finally had to make a decision.
I mean, make a decision. That's my beef. Let's go.
What's behind you today? You erased the whiteboard. What's your daughters wrote something?
Well, there's a turkey And then Avery wrote on there her little job she has to do every day. When she comes in, she's got to refill the fridge.
There. All right. Let's get over to Mac. What's your beef, Mac?
My beef is with a man named Jeff Bezos. Tell you something, Jeff. You're not going to do games with me this winter? So now you traded? You A squad? Now you're the F squad. And you know what you can go do?
Stream it. Romo, what's your beef?
Nothing bad today. Just have to give it up to Springfield Tigers. Great football season. Hopefully, we're gonna have a great basketball season this year. But can't wait to see what next year brings. Bo's coming back for another year. He's gonna put up amazing numbers. I already know that. So yeah, hopefully in about 12 months we'll be right back in this position, but with a Springfield W.
That a boy. Let's go to Heartbreak Central, where coming to us live is the Jamie Thompson.
Well, Romo and I basically live here. On our way home, we were kind of talking about just all the heartbreaking experiences we've been through, and it's kind of crazy when we look back at it. Just everything that can go wrong will always go wrong around us. But Bo Brungard, go ahead and drop his name in candidacy for Mr. Ohio. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Next season, excited for basketball. We're going to be covering a bunch of different teams. It seems like, I mean, we've got Hubbard, Cheney when they come back, Springfield. We got in there, man. Wherever we're at, so excited. So just thanks for letting us cover you, Springfield. It's been a great ride. Had a lot of fun football season. Let's get on to basketball. Let's do it.
We love you, Springfield. Beto's chiming in. Wow, Billy. Paul said that you didn't want to do games with me. So there's a little Paul. Can you clear this up real quick?
Yeah, it was Jeff. Jeff said, "Listen, I want to do a game Friday," and he said he was going to do Jackson Milton. So didn't even offer anything
in honor of the Survivor Series.
Beef squash.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
Billy's doing LeBray, so Jeff went on his own. Flying solo.
Han Solo. Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew.
All right, let's go over EB. What do you got, buddy?
Might be keep Paul's job easy. This one's some of these high school kids. I keep on hearing you guys want to go to get-togethers, parties, this and that. But look, man, they're not playing around anymore. Just stay home, hang out with your team, break down film, read a book. I don't know, make your little tiki talks, whatever the hell you guys do. Like
Tiki talks.
like just stay low key right now. That's not deep.
Sending out all those twatters.
Some tiki talks.
Well played. Quinn.
My beef's with my dad. He redid the garage, apparently, reorganized it his liking, and you guys all know I'm kind of OCD, I guess, at some point with organization and stuff like that, and he reorganized it, so I don't know where the damn duct tape is, and I needed it, and it's gone.
It's good beef.
The Lisbon baby. I got you, Quinn.
My beef is, I mean, listen, I know we're homers. I know when we do what we do, it's all about who we represent. Last night it was Springfield. On Friday it was JFK. When we're in these facilities, a lot of times there's not enough space for more than one broadcast to happen. Last night there happened to be some space. And my guys were doing their thing. It was Romo. It was Jamie. They were doing their thing. They took all the heat. They did not even flinch whenever things were not going our way. And all of a sudden, they started to shift a little bit. The momentum started to turn towards the way of Springfield. And my dude, Romo, was getting, like, holes stared into his head by one of the groups next to us. And he looked back at me, and I just gave him the no sign. Like, don't even think about it. Because we've been down this road before. Britt Taylor will remember well as he's watching a few years ago in the state championship in Canton. And I will say this, we're not afraid. Like, listen, we are going to be loud for our team because our team's there too. Just because you have 7 outlets covering your school doesn't mean that we're going to back down from anybody. And we're not looking to fight. We're just going to say, when things start going our way, we're going to be loud too. So if you're going to start looking at our way whenever your team starts pooping down their leg, listen, just keep your eyes straight ahead, look at your little papers, and announce your game. Okay, because we're gonna do the same. We're just gonna be a little louder whenever things happen to go our way, and that is my beef because my dude was
Hey man,
We were in a sea of cold water media last night.
right after that first touchdown was scored by Springfield, I turned to Romo. I won't say exactly what I said because can't say it on this, but I said, hey man, let's go. Let's be loud. Let's do it.
Well, I
Yeah.
heard you, and I said,
would've
"Yep,
threw
I
ice
got
at
your
him.
back. I got your back." Because in those situations, in those press boxes, you're not supposed to scream or you're not supposed to clap or it's supposed to be completely down the line, all that stuff, right? Well, when we had Coldwater to our left, Steve and I just kind of looked at each other when they're high-fiving in the media box. I looked at Steve and I said,
It's on.
it's on. Like, every time, you could probably hear Steve in the broadcast. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I know you could hear it on theirs. I know for a fact you could hear it on it. It was, but overall, guys, you did a fantastic job. The Valley's proud of you. We're proud of you. And again, thank you to our fans. Thank you to YS Nation. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to the schools, the districts. Thank you to the players. Thank you to the parents for tuning in and making this year, this football season, such a success. And again, we turn the page tonight to basketball season. The power play still in effect. $9.99 gets you all the games from now until Sunday. So until Sunday morning. So enjoy it, guys. We appreciate you as always. We'll see you tomorrow from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock right here on the YSN Power Hour. We'll see you guys.
I did want to say something real quick. I wanted to thank Sean and Tammy from the Tigers table. They took care of us last night, and they had a great party there last night for everybody, and they've done it a couple times during these playoffs, and they really took care of YSN, so I want to thank them a lot. They did a great job.
They always do. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you so much and all you do. Here we go. Breaking news, Dobbins and Ingram got COVID.
What are you doing, kissing each other?
The Steelers probably saw that coming. That's why they didn't draft Dobbins. So that's finally the reason. They knew he was going to get COVID right before Thanksgiving. So, all right, that's going to do it. Unless anybody's got anything else. Going once.
Steelers suck.
Shut up. We're out. Peace.